I finally got to a point where my Vortex team is able to do some crazy damage. Now in today's video, I'm gonna share with you my builds and what team I'm using, my timings, everything else that you need to know about this Vortex team. Currently, this week's handicaps are, of course, bosses take 30% more poison damage. Each time an ally receives healing, they have a 50% chance of having one of their debuffs dispelled. So this is actually a pretty good handicap for my team because I am running Corrosion. Now my server is kind of like at a different level. How you may notice, the damage is just crazy. So let me just quickly show you what teams they are running in here. A lot of inspirations, a lot of crazy heroes, right? I'm not going to get anywhere closer to that, but still, I do think that my team is performing really well. So talking about that, if you guys remember, I was fortunate enough to summon a Rook. Now my main problem that I had was that I got no other Corrosion legendary hero. So I have to use Dargo. I have no Felocia, I have no Ogok. So I had to use Fenja and Furbart, which by the way, they're absolutely amazing. Now the real superstar of this team is Reyta. A lot of people don't even know what Reyta does because she's kind of like on the lay low, you know. She's really underestimated, I would say, because people, they don't really value her full potential. Basically, Reyta has this very unique skill set all around. With the passive, she basically brings you damage reduction. For every single debuff on the boss, their damage is reduced by 6%, which is very good. Then you have attack penalty, accuracy penalty on the battle skill, and the ultimate is the most unique one in the game. Basically, you get a full cleanse, you're getting defense up on all of your team, and it extends the duration of all debuffs on the enemies by 5 seconds, which means that you can basically extend the duration of defense down and decrease attack by 5 seconds. So timing will be very important. Now this team is not really a free-to-play friendly team. I just want to show you how bonkers this team can be, and just by using 2 damage dealers. The reason why I decided to do a video on this is because I'm seeing a lot of you guys constantly posting in my Discord your teams. I'm seeing them constantly posting in my clan's Discord and other areas, the Dragonheir official Discord, and I'm seeing very little damage from the Corrosion team, and I feel like mainly it's because people are trying to squeeze in 3 Corrosion heroes with the wrong support. You can only do that if you have the really crazy support heroes. Ogok, Felocia, etc. There's a very small handful of them that will enable you to do it. So, talking about artifacts, yes, I am using 5 different legendary artifacts. Yes, I finally got some mythical gear. I finally got a defense piece for Furbart. I got it today. I did not have a chance to actually do a run with it on to see how well it improves the team. I still need to get some better runes. My runes are completely way off. I need one of these Moonlight Mantle with Enlightenment main for my Fenja, just to increase the healing from there and give her a slightly different build. That would be very helpful. Of course, we have the Aerial Battle Roar on Dargo and on Rook. I have crit damage gloves on Rook. I have crit rate on Dargo. And I have a Moonlight set on Reyta. And I do have quite a bit of attack on Reyta, because how you may notice, we are running the Downpipe Organ to boost our damage furthermore. Now, when we are talking about skill timing, this is very important as well, because you do want to leave a gap in between Dargo and Rook. The main reason is Dargo is using his skill and animation, decides to pop off 5 minutes later, so you need to have Rook going later. Now, if you don't have Rook, I've made a guide on Sabrina, is a rare hero. I don't think the team will come anywhere closer to this. So if you really don't have any other legendary from the Corrosion, only the epics, I would suggest you do not create a Corrosion team for the Vortex this season without the legendaries, and do probably an Ice Blast. It will outperform a Corrosion without Rook or without other legendaries from the Corrosion. So you have Furbart at 14 seconds on a 20-second cycle for all of them. Then we have Dargo at 14.2. The main flaw of this team is that the hero that puts defense down is Furbart, unfortunately. I don't have a multi-hitter to get the job done except Dargo, and if I'm swapping that, I'm losing damage, okay? So this can basically take me a few runs every day to get the desired damage. It really depends if the RNG is spot on with the defense down or is constantly not being applied. That can be an issue. I wish I could bring in a different character to apply the defense down, but honestly, I have no other options. Then, of course, we have Reita at 21.5 seconds. She will cleanse, give me increased defense, which will last for the next 3 skills on the boss. So when Frerbart will take the single hit, he will have defense up to survive longer. But enough with all that. I will show you the builds and everything else after the run, guys. But let's see what this team will do. Now, unfortunately, I do not have an insane survivability. If I would have that, honestly, I feel like this could be so freaking OP. If this team would survive as my team was surviving last season, my god, the damage would be off the roof. If I could use the Blast Jar on my Frerbart to increase my attack, that would be even better. But unfortunately, we need him to put the defense down. Reita, she doesn't hit with the ultimate skill, so she cannot apply the defense down. And unfortunately, I cannot do that. If I was able to do it, probably I would drop out the pipe organ for that. Now, what I like about Rook is that he is spraying these numbers like crazy. He is very strong. I don't think he is completely busted, honestly. I've seen last season as well teams doing 500 million damage. This time around, keep in mind, the Poison team is really benefiting from the handicap. You're getting 30% more damage, which is massive. Next week, I'm not expecting to see the same result when the handicap is not the same, right? So every week will favor a different team. This team, it is favoring the corrosion team, the poison teams in general, you know. So this will actually be pretty interesting. So how you may notice, we have 2 different debuffs applied on the boss at most of the time, and that gives us damage reduction. Now, the main problem that I have is Frerbart not applying that defense down. So far, this run is not looking very great because we barely had the defense down land from him. And again, he did not apply that. So if this is the case in a run, I can see it based on the damage, and I can always just retry it again a couple of times till I get the best damage and save it. The main thing is it usually survives to a certain point every single run. Now, I've changed a couple of pieces of gear since yesterday, so I'm curious to see how that will affect the team. Of course, I changed that chest piece on Frerbart, so I am expecting to see a bit of an improvement on survivability. So this is the main issue that you have with a team like this. If you don't have a multi-hitter to apply the defense down, you never see the defense down on. Like, I don't know, did we even have it had it once or not at all, you know? There we go, we finally see it. It makes a massive difference because if you are paying attention at Rook's damage right now, you see 26,000 every time. Now, if you are going to pay attention, once we're going to get to a phase where we don't have defense down, the damage is substantially decreased, you know? So it does make quite a bit of a difference. Not just that, but we are applying less corrosion when we don't have defense down. So overall, all this will reduce his damage drastically, you know? So it does make quite a bit of a difference to have that defense down. So we are at 37 million damage with 17 minutes in. Pretty good so far, pretty good. The main thing that I'm kind of like hoping is to have a better survivability for my Frerbart. The main thing with him as well is that Frerbart is the first one to die usually because of the single hit, you know? Is just not able to recoup all the HP. Maybe once I'm gonna get better runes and I'm gonna be able to make Fenja faster, basically to give her more skill haste. I'm gonna make Reita faster with more skill haste. She's going to apply that decreased attack more on point. I'm gonna get the battle skill heal from Fenja a bit more often, and like that, I might just be able to rescue that Frerbart to make him be on point. So we reached 51 million damage. We got fortunate enough that we managed to land that defense down a few times in a row, and that really makes such a big difference. That's why I was so like, you know what, I'm gonna change that defense down artifact, I'm gonna put it on Dargo, and that's it. That will definitely get close to the same damage, if not more. But for my surprise, was way less, was way less. So I was like, okay, that's it. That legendary artifact on Dargo makes quite a bit of an impact. And not just that, but in order to transition Dargo from full damage to a hybrid and to apply that defense down, I had to basically drop 1.5k attack or something like that, which is massive. It's a lot of attack. But you see the difference on the damage from Rook when we have no defense down? It goes all the way to 12,000 from 26, right? So it's a massive, massive difference. You lose so much damage. Like every single spray right there, number that pops in makes you lose so much damage if you don't have it spot on. So here we are, 70 million damage, 5 minutes in, almost 4 minutes and 30 seconds. It's a pretty impressive damage. I'm gonna show you the Psychic Core as well once I'm done with it. But the main thing that really matters, guys, is to, of course, have those timings right, have some decent artifacts on the team, and make sure you are running the right gear sets too. That is very, very important to kind of like boost the damage. And the one trick that people need to understand, the best damage gear does not go to Rook. The best damage gear goes to Dargo. The more corrosion Dargo applies, the more damage Rook will do. So you want Dargo to hit as strong as possible, okay? That's a quick tip right here for you guys. Very, very important. So I'm curious to see if we survive a bit longer. You see that defense up from Reta that is being placed at 21.5 lasts us all the way to pass this skill from here. And that's mainly because of how the animations are being delayed in game and the skills are displayed at a specific time and stuff like that, On Fenja, one thing that I would kind of like to try, honestly, I don't think it will be better, is to use the Bells artifact, maybe to see if that extra healing would help me more, but I really don't think it will help me more than the actual shield, because getting an extra shield like this, it can be very, very impactful to reduce the damage that you're getting, and especially on this hit right here is super, super impactful. So we are at 14 minutes in. We have 93 million damage. So far, I really don't feel like we are where we should be with the damage, We should definitely have a bit more. But that was the cost of not applying that defense down so many times at the beginning. Like the first 3 minutes was pretty painful, Now the main thing is, can we survive longer? That is the main thing. Can that mythical chest piece on a Furbart give us the extra healing that we need to survive longer? Is that a thing? That is what matters the most. Okay, so there we go. Okay, usually he goes down after this cycle. So this is definitely not a very good run. Probably I'm not going to save it. I will show you the final result, but I'm definitely not going to save this when I know that it can get so much better. Here we go. Okay. There you go, you see? So usually he dies there. Now, I'm not going to necessarily spoil it for you. I was expecting to maybe have a slightly better survivability. Either way, the highest damage that I've dealt with this team was almost 140 million or something. Either 140 or 130. I'm gonna pick up the screenshot in a second and show it to you. Like, this is not a bad result either, like getting 117 million damage is absolutely insane, It's still gonna put me on a very good placement on my server. Probably I'm gonna do top 30 easily, or top 40, something like that. But either way, I know I can get more damage from this team. Look at Rook. 90 million damage, 76.9. Dargo, 18.7 at 22 million. While the rest had no damage. So that's what it did yesterday for me, guys, without that mythical chest piece on Flurbart. So I'm definitely going to retry it to make sure that defense down lands a bit more often. So the result is much better than today. Just so you guys kind of like get a grasp of what I meant, that it can be much better. 130 million is definitely pretty solid. Now let me just quickly walk you through the builds on the characters to kind of like have an idea of what we have going on in terms of stats. And I'm gonna show you the Psychic Core in a second too. So moving over to the Vortex. Which one is my Vortex team? I can't even remember. I don't have that many presets. That is another one. This is the one. So that is my Rook. 44k HP, 1.6k defense, 5.5k attack, 90 crit rate, 163 crit damage. Now the Hook, the artifact, will give him 15% crit rate and will make him deal more damage when he's not at full HP. Usually, how you saw before he's using the ultimate, the boss comes in with a double hit, which will deal damage on them, and he will not be at full HP. So that is kind of like calculated. Sometimes, because Fenja, she's not timed, she will heal right before that, but it's not happening very often. Flurbart, he is on an Ancestral Protection set, a mythical piece, of course, with Witch's Remains. A shame that I cannot get something else going on. 71k HP, 4k defense. We have 249 accuracy. Nothing else really matters. I would love to have some skill haste on him to push up that battle skill a bit faster. Then we have Dargo. He has, of course, the Swamp Toadstool artifact, and we have 35k HP, 1.7k defense, 5.5k attack, 93 crit rate, 149 crit damage. And we have Fenja. She is on a Puppeteer set. The mythical gear doesn't matter on her. She has the Gatekeeper staff, right, for the shield. 41k HP, 3.2k defense. I need to give her a lot of defense because this set will actually give to my entire team 15% of her defense, right? So that is very important. I would like more enlightenment, of course. 318 enlightenment and 77 skill haste. Then we have Rhaeta with a pipe organ on a Moonlight set. So whenever she's using the ultimate, we're getting a bit of healing. And total stats, 39k HP, 1.7k defense, 5.4k attack, and I have 241 accuracy, 20 skill haste. That's pretty much everything for my team, guys. Let me just quickly show you my Psychic Core before we are bouncing out of here, so you guys get to see what I have going on at the moment. This is where my Psychic Core is. I haven't completed all of my weekly challenges, quests, etc. Just yet. So I can get more affinity solvent, but not enough to make this to level 3. Once I'm going to do that, I'm going to get 5% more damage. So that is pretty much everything for the video. Hopefully you found it helpful. Keep in mind, timings and everything else is very, very important. Appreciate all of you guys watching, and I'll catch you all in the next one. Peace.